This is RadioFire.com. Yours truly, Diamond K, in here alongside my father. How you doing, Dad?
Hey, it's cold outside, but
Yeah.
it's warm in here.
Right, that's true.
Brother sweating.
Did you turn the heat up?
That's good.
What's going on?
I'm good.
Yeah, no, I kept it on today because
I like heat though.
You know, I didn't want the you know what I mean, just take too long to heat up.
Yes.
We're having record-breaking
Cold
weather around the country.
Yeah.
Country. Here in Baltimore last night, it was 4 degrees.
I know, because I went to the airport to pick up your sister.
How did that go?
Okay. She said the flight coming back they came back from Miami, so she said that.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference. So we are just a year out.
Yeah.
From the start of
bomb throwing. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I think the bomb throwing is coming. Is like now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We're of course talking about the 2020 election.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the question that I have is, can Kamala Harris, can Elizabeth Warren, or can Howard Schultz defeat Trump 2020?
Well, out of the three, Sister Harris has the best chance. Out of the three. Yeah. And I'm warming up to her more and more. And I can see, I could see it.
Yeah. So let's look at this. Now, she didn't just have a great rollout day. She had a great rollout week.
Mm-hmm. People know her name now.
Yeah.
They didn't know her last week, 10 days ago.
She made the announcement on Good Morning America on Martin Luther King Day.
Mm-hmm. Good timing.
Right? Clear link to civil rights history.
Yes.
That was on purpose.
Yes.
That was on purpose.
Wasn't an accident, huh?
No accidents. Now, after that, Wednesday, she was on Rachel Maddow.
Mm-hmm. I like Rachel Maddow.
I do too. And Rachel said that there's a good chance you're going to win the nomination.
Mm-hmm. That had to feel good leaving
I know.
that interview. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, on Sunday, the biggest crowd of the January rollout season, 20K people in her hometown, Oakland.
Oakland in the house.
For her first major address.
Mm-hmm.
And one day later, she had the town hall on CNN, which they said is the biggest one that they've had as far as viewership.
Well, have they had any?
In general, they had 2 million people watch that.
Uh-huh. Oh! I thought you meant that was the biggest
Of the season.
Yeah.
Well, it is that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They said that normal time slot that they had there, this was 75% higher than what they normally have in that slot.
Right, because that's and that's Don Lemon's spot, and I like Don Lemon too.
And he does a respectable show. It's
right,
not like
right.
he does bad ratings or anything.
Right,
He does good ratings.
Yeah, they had a special, so that was good.
It was special, and they promoted it real heavy.
Right.
Promoted it real heavy. She's already got 3 congressional endorsements, 3 California reps, Nanette Bargan, Ted Lieu, and Katie Hill have all endorsed her. If anything bad, stumble. I'm going to say a stumble. She had a couple stumbles. Healthcare is a tricky thing. And I think she stumbled a bit with that. So she said she wants to totally eliminate private insurance. And this is a talk of Medicare for all. There was some back and forth. She said, let's eliminate all of that. Let's move on. All right. And so, it's, I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, I don't have a problem with it myself, but the American people, they're very used to that. And Medicare for all, I think, will eventually happen. But some people may still want to have private insurance options. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's always going to be the haves and the have-nots. You know,
They want something to separate us.
right. I mean, I got money. I want the best doctor. I don't, you know, the guy who's worth $100 million. I want the best doctor. I don't want that doctor. I want John Hopkins. You know, this guy John Hopkins, who has a reputation. So I mean, but those things still happen with you know, Medicare. You know, for all. You know, it'll still happen. So, but I agree with you. I think eventually it will happen that we're gonna have Medicare for all or health care for all.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about these front runners, and then I want us to dissect them.
Mm-hmm.
Howard Schultz may not be a household name to the average person,
Mm-hmm.
but he is the former CEO of Starbucks for many years.
And many of you have heard of Starbucks.
You like Starbucks?
I love Starbucks.
Yeah. I'm not really a fan. I do like using their internet, but for the most part, that's you know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't get into Starbucks.
The
either.
Danishes are not
all
like
that.
all that, right?
You guys don't drink coffee.
No, I don't drink
Correct.
coffee.
Don't
Yeah.
drink coffee. I've
Never-
never drank coffee.
Never drink. He doesn't drink coffee because his daddy and his mother never drink coffee.
There's never a coffee maker in the house.
Yeah,
And my mom drinks coffee.
yeah.
But I can make coffee. I can make coffee because one of the things that they taught me off the bat working the fry station was you also need to check the coffee because the coffee was near the fry station. My first job at my first job, McDonald's. My McJob.
Okay.
And so I could make good coffee, decaf or regular. You know what I mean?
I used to make coffee for my stepfather. It was
Yeah.
it was like making hot chocolate because I remember I used to dip the spoon in the hot water.
Well,
I don't know if they do it like that now.
That's different. You had that
It was
in the
instant.
commercial.
Yeah.
With the little can, the little, yeah, that's you made the Folgers.
Yeah,
The
I think it
Folger
was.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
That's when the hot chocolate was in the tin can. Remember the hot chocolate was in that tin can? You
Yeah.
use a spoon to open it up.
Yeah.
That was too funny.
Gosh, and pop the top.
Yeah, yeah.
Gosh, I remember
But that hot chocolate was good.
it was.
I ain't like that no more. But Starbucks charged $10 for coffee, so coffee is like buying cigarettes.
That's not true.
Was it $4?
5 if you get the biggest one. Venti. It's almost 5. About $5.
Yeah.
All right, well, just like Medicare for all, one day costs you $10.
No.
So he said on the interview Sunday that he is seriously thinking about running for president. Howard Schultz, the former CEO, worth $3 billion. Now, he's been a lifelong Democrat. He wants to run, here's what's scaring people, Democrats anyway, self-funded, independent centrist. He has been criticizing Democrats, actually more than Republicans in his interviews. He has a new book out and a big team of consultants. But I think he's been making some major, he's been doing some things that don't seem to be thought well out. If he's going to run as an independent, he doesn't have to caucus in Iowa and all these places. But he's traveling to these places. And it seems like he's going to use that as his barometer for his campaign. But if he runs as an independent, it's not even going to be necessary for him to do that.
Well, he's still got to talk to people and get them to like him, and got to get them to vote for him versus the Republican or Democrat.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
You got to get in front of them. I'll make sure that there's a chicken in every pot, a car in every driveway.
You gonna go?
Vote for me.
You gonna go back to that one? It worked before, so you know, a lot of people are giving him flack. Did you see the book signing he did in New York, where the guy yelled out at him in the crowd?
No.
I should have had that clip ready for you then. The guy says, "Don't help re-elect Trump, you arrogant rich asshole."
I mean,
But that's why
there's
I said,
merit in what he's saying.
Oh, it's absolute merit. And here's my thing. That's why I said he has a big name consulting firm,
Eric.
but he's making these foolish mistakes.
Yeah.
You don't do a book signing start in New York.
Yeah.
You're gonna always get somebody to yell some stuff out to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna always.
You should have had to take it. You did that real good.
But that's exactly how it sounded. I'm gonna play. That's exactly how he said. You arrogant rich asshole.
And listen,
And he wasn't even next. He was like 3 people behind in line for the book signing.
listen. Somebody like Schultz, they're not even. First of all, they're not even used to that kind of criticism,
Right.
You know, and,
Right.
and politicians are.
Yeah.
But he's got to get used to that.
Oh, it's
And,
gonna be coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But no, there's merit in what he's saying because.
You talking about the guy in the crowd?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because
This is Trump did it. I can do it. I
Yeah,
have more money than him. Is
right,
what
right.
he's thinking.
And the same way on the other other side,
The Democrats?
the Democrats are gonna have about 30 of them, and they don't have the money. But he's the president. I know I can become president.
But here's the Democrats. Why don't you run with us?
Oh, you talking about
You've been a
Schultz.
Democrat the whole time. Why are you
Yeah.
gonna? Who you want to be? You know. But Schultz brought up some good points.
What?
America is tired of the back and forth partisan
Right.
debates.
Right.
That's what scares them because that will stick.
Yeah, but mainly, because he wants it to go right down the middle somewhere. So those are all extremists. And but another reason he ain't go Democrat because he don't get lost in the shuffle. You know, if we got 30 people, they're all gonna be there, and then they're
Yeah, but he's got $3 billion. He
Yeah.
won't get lost.
yeah.
He's got $5 coffee, and that's the cup, not the pot.
Yeah, and he the thing about him too, he's gonna be using some of his money where Trump didn't even have to use his money.
Yeah, but he's gonna have to use his money
Yeah.
because he hasn't made some of these deals,
Right.
and he may not make the deal.
Yeah.
There's just more things that he could get behind somebody else. He could help Kamala.
Yeah.
Be
Maybe he don't like
vice
her.
president.
Maybe he don't like her.
Yeah, he probably don't. He probably doesn't. Speaking of not liking somebody, who they say is one of the most unlikable people, Elizabeth Warren. I think she's had the worst 2018 of these.
Yeah.
hopefuls.
She doesn't have the factor. She doesn't have the it factor. And I'm tired of them talking about Hillary as unlikable. She got more votes than anybody in American history. She got more votes than he got. So I mean, you can't say that.
But that's just a talking point, and it's not true.
Right. But Elizabeth Warren is she doesn't have the it factor. But although
So you don't think she has any charisma?
no.
I don't either.
No.
Did you see the video that she did in her house?
kitchen? In her kitchen?
Yes. Wait a minute. Honey, get me a beer. What? Nobody talks like. I don't drink beer.
Yeah, I don't drink beer either.
You don't drink beer either.
No.
But we've
No.
both been around people who drink beer, and they don't talk like that.
Right.
Wait a minute. Honey, pass me a beer.
Well, and I can't say that her crowd may not say that. You know, maybe they talk like
They
that.
don't talk like that. I've been around some white people from the Midwest.
But yeah, her rollout wasn't that. Yeah, but I like her. But I mean, she's not.
You like her policies.
Yeah,
or what she
right,
stands
right,
for.
right. Because she had said something very interesting on the floor of the Senate when was it last year? It might have been about 6 months ago. She said that the United States of America said until 1968, we don't want those blacks to be able to get loans and homes.
She said that?
Yes, right on the floor. And she said that was the stated acceptance of the American government.
And that's Democrat or Republican.
Yeah, and the GI Bill was for white people to get their homes. It wasn't for you coloreds, you Negroes. And until 1968, they kind of laxed, but that doesn't mean that everything wide open in 1968. It's still, but I like honesty. You know, she was
And
honest.
she said we did that and that was wrong.
Yeah.
Well, they did it because
Yeah.
she wasn't there. But
Right.
most of them don't acknowledge the inequality.
Yeah. Yeah, they know it's there, but it was what they've been doing all along. Oh, don't believe your lying eyes. You know, nothing to say, nothing to see here.
Yeah. So she started out the year in double digits in primary polling, but by the end of the year, she was in the low single digits. So she announced her presidential exploratory committee on New Year's Eve, and she has regained some footing since then. She's not officially a candidate, but she is presumed that she's going to run.
And she might not. You know, she's sticking her toes in there, and she might not.
Not on our list because she's stumbled so far, but Gillibrand.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's doomed. She won't be the president.
No.
I think that's fair to say.
No.
Several other people have lost steam. And you got Biden.
You know, and some people,
Bernie.
Talk from the standpoint of, maybe Bernie and Biden are good because they have the experience.
For the name recognition.
Yeah, like Pelosi has been able to successfully fight off Trump and stand in her ground because she has the experience, and they wanted to bring in some young whippersnappers who didn't know what was going on. So it's married there. But I do believe that those two names that you just brought up are relics from the past.
Did you say relics?
Yeah. Yeah.
Past the expiration date.
Yeah. Check the expiration date.
Why doesn't that
1938? Yeah.
Why doesn't that hold with Nancy Pelosi?
I mean, it would have if she's a fighter. She kept fighting. I mean, I don't think.
because
I've seen both of them fight, and they don't have that same
Is
kind
she
of.
tougher than them?
Pelosi?
Yeah, Bernie and Biden.
I know she is than Biden. Biden is a nice guy. It's a nice guy, but I mean, this is gonna be hardcore. He tried it maybe 3 times, 3 times, and he couldn't.
And it wasn't as hard as this is gonna be.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
and he was in single,
point.
double figure. He was in single digits.
That's a good point.
And I think that Trump would run all over him.
What about Howard Schultz?
What about?
Trump wants him to run.
Yeah. Oh, he wants them to come in just like Stein got the vote, and the guy from Clinton and Bush era, whatever his name was, from Texas, a little guy. Yeah. He was a billionaire, and he got 20% of the vote. And believe me, if he wasn't in there, Bush would have got back in there.
You're right.
For that second term.
You're right.
And
I don't think that the Bushes send him any Christmas card.
No. I don't even know if he's alive now.
He's not.
He's not?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. And then I remember there was a guy named Anderson back in the 80s. And so this has been going on, and this is nothing new. It splits the votes. And they don't even talk about Jill Stein. She definitely got Trump. Trump should have her to the White House.
And if you talk about Nader, took Florida.
Forgot about Nader. Yeah, that 1980.
Yeah,
2000.
Yeah,
Nader,
took
definitely.
Florida.
Definitely. That's the reason that Gore didn't make it.
Perot.
Perot. Yeah, for
Ross Perot,
Bush and Clinton.
Yeah.
Ross Perot. Yeah.
So I mean, you have those type of things, but if Schultz gets in the race seriously, you really see him pulling the Democrat. You see him being a spoiler.
Yes, of course. It has to be. I mean, whoever heard of Jill Stein? She was, anybody. If anybody runs, you're going to get some votes. If I run, I'm gonna get some votes for president.
Right.
Yeah, we all gonna get some votes. I mean, he gonna get more than Jill Stein.
Yeah, well, that's true. He definitely has more
And
money.
she got, I mean, in some states, if we get the statistics, Trump won by, 15,000 votes. Jill Stein got 50,000 votes in that state.
That's true.
In some
yeah.
of those,
So it was a difference maker.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Especially with those, Florida, Michigan, Wisconsin. I mean, yeah. Even Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh, he would definitely split the vote. I mean, he would be giving it to Trump.
So, and that's my thing. Is he pulling from Trump, or is he going to pull from
Trump?
the Democrat because he's a centrist?
He's not going to take any of Trump's votes. Okay, that hardcore.
Independents.
Yeah, I mean, Trump got that hardcore. They're going to be there. This guy's going for the middle. That the independents and the Democrats. Nah, she's a lady. And, nah, she's black. He's gonna get those remnants, and those remnants are gonna be in the tens of thousands. So he give the vote goes to Donald. He gonna give it to Donald Trump. And if Donald Trump gets in there a second time,
Here's the thing, though.
I'm out.
Where you on?
I'm out.
Canada?
That's too cold in Canada.
Mexico?
No, I'm going. I can't tell y'all because they might come looking for me.
Somewhere warm.
Somewhere warm.
All right, we know that much.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be interesting. More people are gonna come out to run.
Yes. Yeah.
More people come out to run.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna have a good 30, and probably gonna be a good 15 that
What about Bloomberg?
I don't think he's gonna do it again. I mean, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because you gotta this is like running for president is like Michael Jackson, Jay-Z's wife.
Yeah, Beyonce.
You got to want this. You know what I mean? You got to live, eat, and sleep it. Michael Jackson that's my life. You know what I mean? You gotta be all in. You can't be half stepping, because this is
It's the real deal.
Yeah, it's a real deal.
So you don't think Bloomberg's heart is in it?
Nah, he's older, and then he got a business, and then he it's a headache. It's
You don't need it.
I don't need this. You know what I mean? And
yeah. All right, so this is going to be an interesting thing to see. Moving forward, Roger Stone.
he's a character.
He is.
This is like Roger Stone. This is your life. It used to be a program called This Is Your Life.
Yeah.
It was a good program because they would have like Sammy Davis Jr. Would be on the show, and then the host, and he said, "Sammy Davis Jr. This is your life." And then they have people come from from the past. Somebody be in the back. Sammy, remember when we did this together? Sammy, you remember this? This guy here, Roger Stone. He loves this. This is his life. I mean, he's going down. He said, if I'm going down laughing and changing my clothes.
I tweeted him once. Did I tell you that?
No.
About
Hi, Roger.
3 years ago. And I said, I don't like anything that you say, but the last book you wrote was good. It was a history book. It was a history book.
Okay.
But he is categorically, he's the guy that's going to wear a plaid suit with a loud tie and just, he's weird.
Mm-hmm.
He's weird. And, and he's going to jail. He's going to jail, okay?
I don't think he's not gonna do good in jail. He reminds
Depends
me
on what you call good.
Yeah, well,
He's going to be a hit. He's going to be a hit in jail.
he reminds me of a guy that I used to work with 45 years ago, named Stein.
That guy was Jewish.
No. His name was Dave. David Benowitz. He was a Jewish guy because his head looked like stone. You know, hair. You know, his head
Yeah.
cut off in the back. Looked like half. Yeah, but
he has a Nixon tattoo. That's so crazy.
And listen, it's a good one too. It looks. I mean, this guy. I mean, he got all
the detail.
Yeah, he got all the
All the lies are carved in.
No lie. Those are cracks. black don't crack.
Yeah.
Somebody those were cracks. But it's good. It's very good detail. But you're right.
So we were talking about this. So he was arrested, right? He did he enjoys all this.
Oh man, he's having a time of his life. He said, "If I go down, I'm going down with having
Who
fun."
do you know that gets arrested, gets out, and then does interviews about the arrest same day? Him. What kind of? I mean, even a public defender will let you know that's not a good idea.
But they say they got so much evidence on him that they said
you can't do no worse.
You already said it. You going to jail,
right?
Okay.
There's no doubt about it. And he entered a not guilty plea.
Yeah.
You know. So they have him. They have texts, emails, recordings. I mean, they got.
Hey, when he was doing the interview in front of his house, it was this is funny because they had concluded the interview and one of his neighbors was walking past with a dog, and then Stone said, "I'm sorry for the inconvenience." And the guy said, "Yeah."
That's funny.
That was so funny. Yeah, he was trying to be crazy. Sorry for the inconvenience. He's walking with a face. Shut up.
So they did this police raid. So he tried to act like this was more force than they used to go take out Bin Laden. Really? Bin Laden's dead. Okay. No, it's not. All right. Or Pablo Escobar. No, I mean, what are you talking about?
They do that in
I've seen
our
them
neighborhoods
all the time.
day long.
I remember going to high school. First time I've seen it.
For less than being a spy, for less than being an agent for Russia. For a
little bit of drugs.
Yes.
Little bit.
Exactly. So
people's mother's house.
Exactly. And the wrong house. And they said, we broke them. We killed somebody. Sorry.
And break the door down. They didn't break his door down.
Right. They
knocked on the door.
Right.
You know what I mean? They'll do a half little knock. They won't give you a chance to answer the door. They have the battle ram and just ram the door.
Right.
10th grade was the first time I actually witnessed one. I was in a hack, an Uber, but it was a hack. But it's like an Uber.
21st century Uber.
Right.
20th century hack.
Right. And we get so we went up Caton. Went up Caton and we're going towards Edmondson Avenue. And then you could take that left and kind of cut in the back and come out by the cemetery. Mm-hmm. Have you ever taken that way? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. On that street, I saw SWAT with the battle ram going in one of those houses up there. Mm-hmm. I had never seen that before. Mm-hmm. Nothing like that happened in our neighborhood, but like in our direct neighborhood. But if it did, I didn't know about it. But that was a sight to see. It was like 20 of them guys up there. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that they didn't treat Roger Stone like that.
No, and I remember in Atlanta, it was a lady. They went in her house thinking there was some drugs in there. She was 92. They killed her.
Oh my God!
Somebody 92 years old and shot her. So
that was the wrong house, right?
It was her. I remember looking for her grandson.
Oh, okay.
Or something.
And killed her.
Shot her dead, and I don't want to hear. Those people get no sympathy from me.
Yeah, well, you said it upset my dogs.
Yes.
And my wife.
Who's
she's deaf. She didn't hear nothing. She didn't. It was just like Warrant. She didn't hear it. How was she upset?
The only person that can make me laugh, out of character is my son. I mean, I didn't want to laugh at that one.
But it was funny.
It is
You know
funny.
what I mean?
I mean, it's funny. He interrupted my dogs, and I'm talking.
And his wife, who's
Right.
you know what I mean?
Who's deaf. And,
Yeah, because the officer had to be like, "Go get the translator." She's like, "Oh, I'm upset."
And you know what I found out just the other day, I never thought about it, is that this lady had twins, and one of the twins was deaf, and these are infants. I mean, like a month old, and they immediately started sign language. And I said,
So teaching them.
I said, isn't that kind of early? But when you think about it, you're talking
Just
to
like
the
you
baby.
talking, yeah.
Yeah, I was
definitely
amazed
gotta
by
learn.
that. Yeah.
She wasn't a twin, was she?
Who? The lady?
Mrs. Stone.
I don't know.
Yeah, me either.
He didn't have any children, did he? Roger Stone.
Dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs are like kids. So the WikiLeaks is what they're trying to get him for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of the lies that they use would never work
These guys
in the hood.
They were amateurs.
Yeah, clearly.
Absolute amateurs. And then it was so stupid because Trump would say what Stone told him was going to come out the next damn day. You know?
And then it would come out, and they have
Right.
they have
They can trace it.
evidence that he said it
And that's
in
stupid.
communication.
And the stupidest one was Russia. If you hear me, you would be greatly rewarded if you get those 33,000 emails. I mean, it was
He thought that was funny.
Oh yeah, yes.
That's definitely gonna come back.
And I knew from that day on. I said, this guy.
Yeah,
is
something's going
dangerous.
on. Something's going on. Yeah, I knew
Absolutely.
something was going on then.
Yeah.
Will Stone turn on Trump?
I don't think he's going to turn on him. I really don't. Unless, I think we talked about it before. Unless Donald Trump does the same thing he did to Cohen and throw him under the bus. And he might get throw Roger under the bus and run over him. And before Roger would turn on him. He may turn on him, but I don't, only if he throws him on the bus. And I can't see how you can make the same mistake twice. Because if he had kept Cohen close, he wouldn't have been. They would have all the evidence that they got against him.
That's true.
It's just But
Now, would he turn on Don Jr.?
Roger,
Yeah.
he'll turn on all of them except for the father. Initially. But if the father put that pressure on him, when you talk about going to jail and talking about your wife, hopefully you got some children, and they gonna try to put some pressure on him, no question about it. But only if Donald Trump, who's the chump, throws him under the bus.
I
Because he
think.
wants a pardon. Because he thinks he's gonna get a pardon.
Right. He does. I think that Don Jr. has serious criminal exposure.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some issues. He's definitely lied. The things that people have been found guilty of, Junior has done.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be interesting, and I hope that justice is served. So lastly, we're in the aftermath of this government shutdown. And I don't know if people realize it, but the funding was only until the 15th, February. No deal has been reached, to my knowledge.
Right.
That's to happen while we were on air.
Right.
Temporary solution. They just kicked the can down the road. $11 billion was lost in the shutdown. $3 billion can't get back. It's gone. I don't know where it went, but it's gone.
Well, I think that the only reason that he even gave this reprieve for 30 or 15 days was because
Don't say the big game.
because of the football game.
Oh my! Not the big game.
Yes.
The Super Bowl.
Those owners called and said, "We gotta have tickets. I got. What the hell are you doing? You know, we got people coming in here. We're playing this for a whole goddamn year."
And he said, "And
you know, and they said,
now he said, they said, look, if you don't make this right, we want to hire Kaepernick back." And then Mr. shut down over. You think that he cares about the?
I think he did. I think he did that for his friends. Those are his friends. They begged
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
And I think he did it for him. And then he said, "You owe me," and I think he did it for them because that's why he only did it for that 15 days. You know what I mean? Get them
Right.
time to get the game in and get it over,
And
then
everybody fly back.
Everybody go back home. And
So what's gonna happen now?
And well, you know now. You know what he's saying now is that okay, we're going all the way back to the beginning. You know, like forget a fence, forget a a barrier. I want a wall now. I'm back to a wall. So that's what he's saying now. He's back to a wall.
He's giving in the pressure of them saying that he's caving.
Right. And so my thing, if you're going all the way back, then you need to have Mexico pay for it. I'm going back to the wall. And then, but here's the thing. I think I said it last week.
They are going to pay for it in the JCPOA.
Yeah.
Whatever.
If you want them to stop coming over here, then you need to start finding the people who hire them. If you serious,
And you're talking about illegal immigrants.
yeah. If you don't want them to come, they won't come if you have no jobs. So if Trump, and you need to start with Trump, he hires illegals. Okay, the president hires illegals. So start finding those large
On his
companies
golf courses and
the
all of
hotels,
his,
they
yeah,
clean
all
it
that.
up. They don't hire no black people, and they don't hire no whites. They hire Mexicans and Far East Russians. That's how it works in this place.
Definitely hire Russians.
Right, and so the same way with all the farming, they don't hire them. They won't come. They gonna say, "Man, they ain't hiring back in America." You know what I mean? And it's just as what I mentioned. I went to the DMV the other day, and they said they got a new policy in that I was trying to get I told you to get a license, a state
ID.
ID for
You
your
better not get her no
grandmother.
license.
The ID for your grandmother. And they said, well, she got to have a birth certificate. I said, she was before they had birth certificates. And I said, she didn't have no birth certificate. And they said, well, you can't get it. You start in January, Trump implemented, you got to have a birth certificate. Any kind of federal, you got to have a birth certificate. So I couldn't get it. So they going to come here and they say, can't hire you. You ain't, you don't live here in America. They go, got to go back. I mean, find them. Those companies, $50,000, $60,000 for every illegal that we find. You don't need no wall. Don't have no job for them. And hire all those jobs that you have them doing construction on these streets.
Yeah.
Hire the people who live in America. Don't hire them. And so that's what the Harris, any of them need to start saying. Let's be for real, America. It's not the drugs aren't coming over that fence, or over that gate, over the fence, or whatever you want. They're coming right through the airport. They're coming through the checkpoints.
Right.
So if we for real, but that's being for real. That's how you deal with the problem.
Here's my thought on the wall, and I agree with everything you said. Trump talks about the fact that he is a builder. He's built hotels, build casinos, golf club, whatever. And he can build garages, all that kind of stuff. And he wants to build this wall. He has the amount of money. Why don't people see that he wants to build this wall for this amount so he can give the contract to himself?
Exactly.
Through backdoor companies.
Exactly.
That's what he wants. That's why he's like, wall. And people say, I just give him the wall. This billion, that billion. He's going to, the same thing that they got our former mayor who's up on this wall. What's her name right there? Next to me. In the picture with me. Sheila Dixon.
Oh, okay. Right.
For getting contracts.
Right.
And then giving those contracts to friends. Trump wants to build a wall to give the contract to some company that traces back to him. Why can't people see that?
Right. And it's not gonna cost $5 billion.
No, that's an inflated cost. It don't cost $5 billion to build. If it cost $5 billion to build a wall, there would be no walls because people wouldn't build them.
And no, aside from that $5 billion, it's gonna be more. He's gonna build them. It's gonna be overruns. It's gonna end up being $30-40 billion.
Yeah.
For that wall, like you said, for a wall.
Yeah, and
it's gonna be stamped, "Made in America" by Donald Trump.
That's what happened.
These people are the
That's happened to Bugsy Siegel.
And this is the reason that America in 2016 lost the election. They go all over the world trying to direct people on how to vote, and they couldn't even control their own vote. Let a man come in here and con y'all like that. It's ridiculous. But you're right. That money he gonna make billions of dollars off that wall for himself. Just like everybody going to his hotel right now and paying
top dollar and to get on his good side. It's just like if I'm saying we need to have a party, right? And I'm keep telling people we need to have this big party, it's gonna cost all this amount of money, and my background is in DJing and partying. It only takes a second. Like, why he wants to have a party so much? You know what I mean? And the cost is all inflated and like you're saying, it's going to be over that cost. This is just a small piece of the cost.
And then he's going to say, okay, Junior, get Henry. Let's get the boys together and start on that wall, man, and start sending them bills out to the government.
Of course, a typical mob method. Yeah. So Pelosi agreed on the 5th for the State of the Union.
Next Tuesday.
What time is it? Is it 9 o'clock?
Usually, 9.
All right. So here's the thing. Should she give in to the wall? The Democrats.
No, they should tell the American people just what you just said and what I just said. He wants to make that wall and build that wall for himself. He's a builder. That's what he. Like you said, that's what I do. You know what I mean? That's what I do.
His father only taught him one thing. That.
Yes. Yeah. And that is he knows the people. His father, they said.
He just introduced them to the people, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And
because he doesn't know how to make deals.
No.
Because a real deal maker with all this stuff in place would really be.
Well, I don't know. He might be a deal maker. He's president now. He didn't. I mean, I guess he.
I think Trump accepted an offer he couldn't refuse from Putin.
Yeah.
I don't think he made the deal. I think Putin made the deal.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you're right. Right.
Because he bows down. He even speaks bad about their pope. He talks about their pope. You know, a lot of white people hold the pope in high regard.
Yeah.
Right? I said their pope. You know what I mean? Whatever. He just whatever. Who I don't mean. I'm not Catholic. You know what I mean? He don't mean nothing to me.
Right.
But I'm just saying, white people hold the pope in high regard, and Trump disrespects the pope.
The American people. And when I say American, I mean white people hold the FBI in high regard.
Yeah.
You talk about the FBI?
Yeah.
The CIA.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought that he could come and talk? Just the other day, they all said that Russia is already trying to manipulate the elections already.
The upcoming election.
Right, the current election.
Yeah.
ISIS is not on the run. And
nope.
We still need to watch ISIS. North Korea is still... You think they don't want to be? You think they're not trying to build a nuclear weapon?
Still doing that.
And he said
Iran is
complying. They said.
Yep.
You know, he said they're all lying. They don't know what they're talking about.
They're naive. He said they're naive.
Here's a guy who doesn't read. He's inarticulate and he doesn't read
and doesn't like to.
Doesn't.
It's not that he's busy, don't have time.
But that's
he said, I don't like to read.
That's the truth. Most people who don't read don't like to read.
and right, and
can't read well.
he says he knows more than the generals.
Yes.
He says he knows more about the internet and electronics than anybody. He says he knows about everything.
Right.
Where did you get the information from if you don't read?
Right. Right.
They say he doesn't email. He can't email. He doesn't know how.
Right. Exactly. And poor white people and those people who what is it called that make America great people.
Yeah, MAGA.
I mean, they've got to be. I hate to say it. They are conned beyond con.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with race. You know what I mean? This guy's conning you.
But I don't know if it's a con.
Okay.
Because if you remember, what was that white magician's name in the 80s? A real popular one.
Yeah.
Copperfield.
Yeah, Copperfield.
David Copperfield. Do you remember when he did the thing where he said he was going to make the Statue of Liberty disappear?
Yeah. In the airplane.
Okay. And the people that watched it, it didn't really happen. And you knew it wasn't going to happen. But you watched it anyway. Did he really fool you if you know that he's not really going to do it? You know what I mean?
But he made it disappear. When I looked, it was gone.
It was a camera trick.
I don't know what he did.
He didn't make the airplane disappear.
He was gone.
See, if you believe it, then you weren't tricked. You believe it. You know he ain't make them thing disappear. 747. I think that the MAGA people believe it.
Yeah, they believe it. They believe everything Trump says. And listen, to show you that how strong he has them. Who could have told you that he would say somebody can run for the president and say the FBI they're all crooks, the CIA they're all crooks, the generals they're stupid, they don't know nothing. Who would have ever thought that somebody could run and get elected? Unbelievable.
Yeah. Wow.
And they tell you the guy's a spy. We got a Russian spy in the White House. Unbelievable. And they don't listen to Ann Coulter. She said, that Russian pushing, hear all that. You know what I mean? If you want to beat Trump, stop him from getting that wall built. He won't win. That's what she said. You know what I mean?
I mean, she's got a point. She's got a point. Her profile's been raised.
Yeah, he raised it up.
But listen, only the women talk crazy to him. Pelosi,
right?
Coulter,
right?
They both say whatever they feel, and you know what I mean,
right?
So
we'll see how Sister Harris is able to handle him. I don't know. So how?
Hey, I'll tell you this. There's nothing worse than a black woman that's mad at you. You won't be able to get an edge word in.
How you know?
It happens to me all the time. All my life I had to fight. Thank you, Dad, as always.
Yes.
So we'll be back next week for the State of the Union.
State of the Union.
Real quick, the State of the State happened yesterday, and Maryland's governor gave a decent speech.
You know, they want him to run.
Yeah, they do. I don't think it's a good idea. But because if he does run, that means we're gonna have Ruff, whatever his name is, Rufford.
Oh,
Ruford. What's
Rutherford.
What's his co-pilot's name? Yeah,
Rutherford.
So, but you know, it was a decent speech. They painted Baltimore as the worst of the worst, the scariest of the scary. The schools are terrible. The crime is terrible, and 7-year-olds get shot with the baby doll at the feet. You know, it was like Baltimore was the boogeyman. But
Well, that has an effect on people because
it does.
a friend of mine, Travis, was down in Atlanta last weekend, and he said, "Hey man, they got a whole lot of shootings in Atlanta like it is here. They act like it's just in Baltimore." Then your sister was in Miami. She said the news sound the same.
It's all over this country.
It's this country. It's
But
everywhere.
they trick you. Yeah, Miami is rough.
Yeah.
Miami's rough. And New Orleans, rough.
DC, I listened
Rough.
yesterday. They had 19 murders stuff out of here. So I mean,
It's not just Baltimore.
no right.
It's not just Baltimore. It is in urban centers around this country.
And in Detroit, the shootings have gone down tremendously. Don't nobody there no more.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
They done moved them out.
I mean, they left, no jobs,
right.
no opportunity.
Yeah.
Very, very, very sad. All right, so we'll be back next week. Tuesday. So this was special thing. All right,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay.
See you guys.
Yep.